Imagine waking up one morning and not having to struggle with feelings of exhaustion, not having to fumble around looking for reasons to get out of bed. Instead, you feel full of energy and ready to face a long day of challenges. Sounds like a dream, right? But you know what? I actually went through this change, and it all started with simple yet powerful habits. I can't even count how many times I told myself, tomorrow will be different, but things kept going on just like before. Until one day, I decided, if I don't change, no one will change for me. And that's when I started applying habits that I'm now sure have transformed my life. You know what? These 5 habits are really simple, and in just a week, they helped me change my perspective on life, my body, and my mind. A week went by, and I could feel the difference. My body felt healthier, my mind clearer, and I felt confident stepping out into the world with a new source of energy. If you're looking for a real change in yourself and your life, don't overlook these habits. Now, let me guide you through this journey, and you can change your life today. Because I'm sure that by applying them, your life will enter a new phase. You'll definitely be amazed at what you can achieve in just 1 week with these simple habits. 1. Start your day with awakening. At first, I was like everyone else, waking up with a mind full of worries, exhausted because I hadn't yet replenished the energy from the previous day. Every morning, I felt like I was racing against time, rushing to get up, rushing to prepare everything, and diving straight into a new day without taking any time for myself. Everything just passed in a rush, and I never thought that just a few minutes at the start of the day could change everything. I remember the first time I tried to implement the habit of waking up and taking a little time for myself, breathing deeply, relaxing, and just focusing on the present moment. You might think, are those few minutes really that important? At first, I thought the same. It just felt like wasting time when there was a pile of work waiting for me. But I decided to give it a try, even though I wasn't sure if it would work. And so, every morning, I spent about 5-10 minutes meditating, just sitting in silence and breathing. At first, it was really hard. My mind kept wandering, and I couldn't focus. There were moments when I asked myself, is this even making a difference? But after a few days, I started to feel a subtle change. I felt lighter, and my mind wasn't tense the moment I woke up. I felt ready for the day, with a relaxed and alert mind. It's not just a personal feeling. Science has proven this too. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that morning meditation can reduce stress by up to 40% and improve focus. Even researchers from Harvard Medical School have shown that morning meditation can change the structure of our brain, enhancing the connection between areas of the brain that control emotions and logical thinking. Honestly, there were times when I felt discouraged, but when I saw the real results, feeling more peaceful, more focused, and ready to face any challenge, I knew I was on the right track. And more importantly, I learned to see every day as a precious opportunity, just like Seneca's saying, start each day as if it were a precious gift. Now, this habit has become an essential part of my life. I no longer feel like I'm running after work in a tired daze. This feeling not only helps me start the day comfortably, but also helps me maintain a sharp and optimistic mindset throughout the day. And if you're thinking, I don't really need to do that, I encourage you to try it. Spend a few minutes for yourself every morning, and you'll be surprised at the big changes it can bring. 2. Create your own ideal morning. Every morning is like a new opportunity. Just like Marcus Aurelius said, dawn is an opportunity to start over. At first, I didn't think creating an ideal morning would have such a big impact. But gradually, I realized that how I started my day profoundly affected my mood and productivity for the rest of the day. However, Right from the first days of trying to change my morning routine, I had to face a lot of challenges. When I first started, it felt really hard. In fact, there were days when I still wanted to sleep an extra 10 minutes, feeling lazy and lacking the motivation to get up early. I forced myself to get up but still felt tired and low on energy, as if I were going against what I actually wanted. The truth is, even though I tried to prepare for a perfect morning, not every day went smoothly. Sometimes I couldn't get up on time, or even when I did get up early, I still felt low on energy. This made me wonder if I could keep this habit up in the long run. However, I also knew that not everything had to be perfect right from the start. Changing habits is a process, and sometimes it takes patience. In the early days, I started by planning the night before. I prepared everything so that the next morning would be easier to handle. For example, preparing clothes, making a cup of coffee for the morning, or simply writing down a few goals for the day. These little tasks made me feel more motivated when I woke up. Additionally, I also tried to spend at least 15 to 30 minutes in the morning doing things I enjoy. At first, it was simple things like drinking a warm cup of coffee, reading a few pages of a book, or just sitting in meditation to reflect on the new day. I realized that even if everything else wasn't perfect, doing things I liked in the morning brought me a real sense of peace and confidence. In fact, studies also show that having an ideal morning not only helps reduce stress, but can also increase work performance by up to 25%. I could clearly feel the change in my body and mind when I started building a positive morning routine. It helped me not only feel more comfortable, but also have the energy to tackle all the tasks of the day. But honestly, these changes didn't happen immediately. To have an ideal morning, you need to be persistent and ready to face setbacks during the process. You might have tired mornings or sometimes fall out of rhythm, but the important thing is not to give up. Just keep trying and being patient, and this habit will become part of your life. And when you truly feel the benefits, you'll see that every morning becomes an unmissable opportunity to change and renew yourself. 3. Turn movement into a daily joy. You know, there's a quote from Epictetus that always makes me think, "Take care of your body, it is the only home for your soul." It sounds simple, but truly living by it isn't easy. I used to think that exercise was just a responsibility, a kind of mandatory thing to keep my body from going downhill. But the more I forced myself, the harder it became. In the early days, when I tried to wake up early to run, I could only feel my body protesting. Legs hurting, body exhausted, and my mind screaming, "Forget it." On some cold mornings, just thinking about getting out of bed made me want to give up immediately. Oh, it felt like the worst thing ever. But strangely enough, when I let go of the pressure to be perfect, everything became easier. I realized that exercise didn't have to follow any particular model. You don't need a gym if you don't like it, and you don't need to run marathons if you're tired of it. Instead, I started with things I genuinely enjoyed. A slow morning walk with headphones on, listening to an audiobook, a quick dance to upbeat music in the living room, or just a few light yoga stretches while watching the sunlight through the window. These things made me realize that movement is not just about staying healthy, but also a powerful way to nurture the soul. Of course, science also has reasons to support this. A study showed that when you move, your brain releases dopamine, the magical hormone that makes you feel happy and reduces stress. At first, I didn't believe it, but when I experienced it myself, I realized it was absolutely true. The days that started with some light exercise always helped me feel more awake and energized to face the long day. But I have to admit to you, there were times when I woke up and just wanted to stay in bed. There were weeks when I missed exercise because I was busy or lazy. But I reminded myself that Building habits is a long journey, and every small step is a success. You, too, should understand that the important thing isn't being perfect every day, but not giving up. And then, little by little, exercise became a joy in my life. No force, no longer a duty, but a way to connect with myself. You see, the important thing is not how you start, but how you find a reason to keep going. If you find an activity you love, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, your body and mind will thank you so much. And the most magical part is, you not only get healthier, but you also feel lighter, happier in this life. 4. Loving yourself through every meal. Sometimes, just a week of changing your eating habits is enough to feel a noticeable difference. I did this and truly felt the difference. Before, my meals were simply something to get through in order to fuel up. Yeah, I ate just because I needed to eat. I often didn't have time for meals, rushing through fast food or ready-made meals. That feeling was really unpleasant. You would feel like your body existed only to get the job done with eating. But after I decided to plan my meals for a week, I started to feel the change. I took time to prepare meals that I truly enjoyed and that had nutritional value. Breakfast was no longer just quick bread or coffee. With a bowl of oatmeal, some fresh berries, and a little chia seeds. And I felt the difference in my body. No more gnawing hunger or fatigue after breakfast, but instead, lasting energy throughout the morning. When you eat quickly, you're not just swallowing food, but also swallowing a sense of indifference toward yourself. Try changing that habit and take time to truly enjoy your meals. The feeling I got when sitting down to have a lunch with plenty of greens, salmon, and quinoa was truly different. I stopped and savored every bite, no rushing, no worrying. A delicious bite of salmon, a crunchy bite of spinach, really made me feel like I deserved that care. This is really important because you can't just eat to live. You need to eat to feel life better. A study in the journal Nutrition Research shows that eating nutrient-rich foods can improve mood and reduce symptoms of depression. And I can confirm that maintaining a good diet is not only good for your body, but also has a positive impact on your mind. In fact, omega-3 rich foods like salmon, leafy greens, and fruits not only help my body stay healthy, but also soothe the worries and stresses in my mind. This feeling is very real. I not only saw the changes in my body, but also felt a calmness in my thoughts. The new days began. I focused on foods like salmon, fruits, leafy greens, and nuts, things full of omega-3 and fiber. I felt relaxed, less stressed, and my mind was so much clearer. In fact, eating more fresh fruits and vegetables helped me feel better every day. In the morning, instead of drinking a sugary cup of coffee, I started with a warm lemon water. Not only good for digestion, but also cleanses the body right from the start of the day. Just after a few days, I felt my body lighter, no longer sluggish in the morning. You don't need to be too strict with yourself, but planning every meal in advance helped me avoid falling into the habit of eating fast, eating mindlessly. I started planning my meals on the weekend, shopping for fresh, healthy foods, and setting up a menu for the whole week. In fact, there's a sense of ease when you don't have to rush to decide what to eat today, but just open the fridge and know that you have healthy choices ready. This helped me save time, not wasting it on quick but low-quality meals. And most importantly, I could spend time enjoying the meals I truly loved. After a week of changing my eating habits, I felt a noticeable difference in my body and mood. I no longer felt tired in the afternoon, no longer felt starving after breakfast. Nutrient-rich foods gave me more energy and a pleasant feeling, while eating slowly and savoring each meal gave me a calm mind and no more worries. You too, change your eating habits today, and you'll be amazed at the results it brings in just 1 week. 5. listening to yourself through journaling. In a week that changed my life, there's one simple habit, but with unexpected results, that I couldn't overlook. Journaling. Sounds simple, right? But oh my God, you wouldn't believe the change it brought. At first, I didn't think much about just writing a few lines at the end of the day. But really, it became an essential part of my journey to change my life. Imagine, after a long, stressful day, you sit down and write out everything that happened. The worries, the negative feelings, the uncomfortable situations, everything goes on paper. And when you look back, you'll see that you're no longer caught up in that spiral. It's not just a feeling. Science has also shown that journaling can reduce stress and help solve problems more effectively. A study from the University of Texas showed that writing down emotions can improve mental health and increase self-awareness. For me, journaling wasn't just a way to remember the day, but also a way for me to reflect on myself. Every night, I spend 5 to 10 minutes writing down 3 things I learned that day, noting down the negative feelings and how I faced them. Those words helped me realize that I can control my emotions and thoughts, rather than letting them control me. And if you find it a bit difficult to start, don't worry. The key is consistency every day. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "A day cannot be lived fully if you do not live truthfully with yourself." And journaling is a wonderful way for you to live truthfully, reflect on what you've gone through, and prepare for tomorrow. So, don't just see journaling as a hobby. Treat it as an indispensable part of your life-changing journey. Just 5 minutes every evening, this habit will help you realize your true worth, reduce anxiety, and open a new perspective for your life in just 1 week. Start today, and you'll see the clear difference in your personal growth journey.